sweet friends. My name is Jeannie. Today I am going to add a few fall decorations to our bedroom, and I just wanted to take you along while I do it. I love having this area festive for fall. It's my favorite season, and I just like to have it in most of our rooms. So I'm going to take you along while I decorate in our bedroom, and I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so in this area of the bedroom, I decided to go ahead with the green theme. And since it's almost October, I decided to put my sign up that says, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers." And my candelabra. And then I have a little chest here with a vintage thrifted vase with some florals and another vintage ice cream churn. It's very old with some florals coming out, and I just put a doily, like a table runner, across the top just to soften everything a little bit. And over here I have a pretty green apron. I didn't really put anything different in here. I have a bunch of my my vintage pictures in here, and my Joey and Jeannie, and I have some of our wedding stuff here, and a bunch of my vintage white Bibles or bridal Bibles here, and I just love those. This is a couple little apothecary jars with some vintage buttons and a couple of crosses in there. And then I have the wedding flowers that my daughter carried at my husband and I's wedding here under this cloche, and a couple more white pictures in the back. I have a bridal Bible and another little bridal Bible and a picture of my husband and I at our wedding. You can barely see with the crazy glare on it. And then my flowers here, and I just love that look. Here's some more vintage. There's a bride's prayer book and a New Testament. I just love this stuff, y'all. I just eat it up. I think it's so pretty, and I think it means a lot to me to cherish our wedding day and our marriage. I think it just is super special. So, and then my daughter made this for me years ago, and I love it, so I keep it there. Picture my sweet husband there, and then some quilts here. I have a couple of old quilts. This one is not terribly old, but it was gifted to me, so I love it. This is an old quilt, and this is like a coverlet that I thrifted, and it's so pretty. So I've had this vintage cabinet for a long time. I just changed it to this knob, though, and it keeps it from getting stuck in there. I wish I could make it a little tighter, but my husband hasn't fixed that yet, but it does look better. And I took some Rub and Buff and colored those a little bit. Also put in my little child's chair here, I put this pretty pillow that I got off of the spring clearance at Hobby Lobby. And down here you'll see my, I have my stick that we brought back from Key West, and then have a vintage dough bowl right there with some beads in it, wooden beads. Here I have another vintage ice cream bucket. And I have some of these are actually stems, but they look like they could be a tree. So I just have it in here in the corner of the bedroom. And here I have a vintage, I know this looks funny, y'all. This is where my baby dog, my old girl, sleeps. She doesn't have a bed in here, so she loves to waller in that blanket. So I just leave it there for her. This is a vintage trunk that I thrifted for $5 at a yard sale, actually. And it's rusty and crusty, and I just love it. And I got this pretty little pumpkin blanket from Pop Shelf this year. This is a little thrifted vase with some, the little tan baby's breath coming out of it. And here I have a family Bible. And then I have another beautiful Bible here that is a white Bible. And then this was gifted to me. I love this little embroidered embroidered, I think. So I love that. So I put this together. I've tried several different arrangements and I'm not sure of any of them, but I'm going to try this and see how I like it. I may have to live with it a day or two. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know about the colors. I don't really care for it. Let me take it down and try again. They're all a little wild, which I like that, but so I took those other ones out. Let me fiddle with that just a little bit. Okay, I don't know if that's any better. Just tell me what you think. I know it's a little crazy, a little wild right there, but this is the angle that it'll be at, so y'all just tell me what you think. And that's not the true color anymore either because it's trying to get a little dark, but it's also, anyways, I think it's okay. I'm not sure I like the green things in the back, but for now, it's okay. So I'm going to start working on this part right here. Let me get my camera fixed. So this little area over here, I moved, I just put a pumpkin to the right here. And I've got my diffuser and a couple of vintage books and a candle. And then on the shelf, I have a bunch of my vintage ironstone pictures, and I just love this look. But I want to make it a little more fallish, and let me see what I can do here. I've got these little mini pumpkins. I don't even remember where I got them. I got them last year. And I'm just going to sit them in here and see what I think. Oops. Yeah, I think that's cute. And then I spray painted these recently. And I thrifted these to begin with, and they're not pretty either way, but I like them better white. And I got these candlesticks this year from Walmart. Okay, I think I'm going to add, I have a big pretty pumpkin here. One of those glass pumpkins, and I think I'm going to put it here, and then that should be plenty. You know what? Let me see if this will go over here. I don't know if it will or not. It'd be easier if I could get it off of here. Hold on. It might be a little bit too big at the bottom. Yeah, that's cute, but I think it would break. It would fall, so. Oh, well, that was a good try. I do have a smaller diffuser, but this is my favorite one for in here. And I don't think the base is, no, the base isn't any smaller. So, anyways, that's just enough fall there. I think it's cute. All right, let me go to the next area. I may actually put these that I tried to put in that other thing. I may put those in this crock right here. So this is a thrifted, I thrifted this pretty, like brass stand. Earlier in the year, I think, maybe even last year. And I love it, but I put this in it and it just elevates it a bit more. think that's good. It may be too much in front of the TV, but I kind of like it. I still have my olive tree here, and I like that. So that may or may not be too much. I'd like to have a little bit of green in here too. I think I can take those other things out. Let me try that. Okay, so here I have, here's the top of our dresser. Let me see if I can get back a little bit. And excuse my vacuum here. Over here I just have a pumpkin and a cloche. And this is actually a candle, but I have it covered and it's never been used. And then a candle from last year from Hearth and Hand. And then a picture of my husband and I at the pumpkin patch, gosh, many, many years ago. And this is a pink, I think I got, a green pumpkin casserole dish that I think I got at Home Goods a couple of years ago. And I just love it. So pretty. And this vintage art on the TV frame art. I just love it. It's so pretty. And I think I'm going to bring a few pumpkins up here. I'll bring them in just a minute. And then down here I have this wedding dress. I don't think I've shared this with you guys, but I love it. It is vintage. And I thrifted it for $10. And I think it is absolutely beautiful. I've always wanted a vintage wedding dress to display in our room. And, I can also move it to other areas too. But it had the veil and everything. And I just think she is so pretty. I just think it's so, so beautiful. And it goes floor length. And I think it's gorgeous. And I still have my a little stool with the Target, what is that called? Rattan basket here with a bunch of my creamers in it. This is my newest creamer, guys. I thrifted this a couple of weeks ago, and I just think it's so adorable. Isn't that cute? And it was $1. And then I have this, which is my, it's like a candle lantern thing, and I have an old crock in it that I got it not too long ago, and I just tied a little ribbon around it here. And I just love that look, and when these candles are on, it's really pretty. And then I have my Maple and Dickerson pillow that says he makes all things new. So pretty. And I think I'm going to stop real quick and put some pumpkins. I may actually remove one of them and just put it, let me play with that area. All right, I'm not sure how well this is going to work out, but I'm going to try it. I forgot my brown suitcase is not, it doesn't open. There. Whew. That was awkward at best. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm just going to put some pumpkins in here. That's not going to work. Okay. I'm not sure if y'all can still see me or not in the lens, but I'm trying to just put a few pumpkins in here and I want them to stick out. Like they're just stacked in here. Oops. I scooched them down a little bit too far. gist of it. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, in this I just added some brass candlesticks above this little cabinet, and I put some fall foliage in here in this pretty vase that I got from Walmart earlier this year. I have my Madonna here, and a vintage book, and another one of the Walmart candles, and I think this was Hobby Lobby last year, and then a picture of me and my daughter there. And here I just put my Create book. I love that brown, and then a Cozy White Cottage. I ordered this adorable little pumpkin candle snuffer on Amazon, and I think it's just beautiful. And then I have this pretty candle here, which is, I got it last year from Michael's. It's one of those wood wick ones, so it crackles. And then I have a couple of old pictures and my vintage, this is not vintage, this is reproduction, church attendance board, which I just love to keep a loved one up here in our bedroom. And this is a vintage picture with some pretty flowers. And I have another brass candlestick there, and a picture of hubby and I in summer, which that's okay. We can have summer pictures too. And another brass candle holder here. I love the brass with this wood. And I bought this multiple years ago from Hobby Lobby, but I think it's really pretty the way it shines at night. And then the last little area, I have this is a wedding ring quilt. It's old. And then I have my You Are My Sunshine, which is, I love to put this up here for him. It's a Maple and Dickerson. And I got this from Carrie Craft several years ago at Love You More, and I just think that's sweet on our little shelf. I got this off of Marketplace a few years ago, and I painted it and scuffed it, and I just like it. So, and then my mom made this many years ago, right after we first got married, and it means a lot more because she's not here with us anymore. And then I have this little wall basket here with some, these are the like apricot rust ones, and these are the cream ones, and I think they're so pretty. And I have my Hobby Lobby, these are in the fall section, and these are in the regular section, but I got them a couple years ago. And then I have a couple little sweet little pumpkins there, and I don't remember where I got them. And then I have my picture that I've had there for ages. So I always feel funny when I take it down, but I do put a Santa up at Christmas. So anyways, that is that area there.
Open up the window, I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold when the autumn leaves are playing chase. It puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. They leave